This is Big Ronnie, and you're listening to Without Your Head. And if you don't enjoy this, you're making a big mistake.
Welcome to the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neil, and this has been like a year in the making. I have Andrew Hung on the line. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks, Neil. How are you?
I'm excellent. Well, pretty good. I'm lying if I say excellent, but I'm pretty good. So, yeah, it's been like I think a year since I did because I saw the Greasy Strangler. Absolutely loved it. It's such a unique movie. Did a Greasy Strangler month. I tried to get everyone I possibly could, including yourself, because I really think the music is a huge part of that movie. It's like its own character.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess it was, yeah.
Or an enhancement to everything.
Pardon? Yeah.
Or like an enhancement to everything. It really put everything together. It's quirky and it's a little childlike. And I think if you had a different kind of music, it might make the movie very vulgar, which it kind of is anyway. But it makes it charming, I think.
Oh, that's really good to hear. That's great.
Yeah. And I will talk more about that in a little bit. But you've got a new album out right now, and it's called Realisationship. Is that how it's pronounced?
That's right, yes.
All right. Now, first of all, what does that name mean?
I think it's like when you arrive at the truth from your interactions with people. That's what I think it means. I might be talking absolute bollocks though, but
well, that's what it means for you anyway.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And this album, you have lyrics in. What was the decision to sing it on the album?
You know what? It wasn't a conscious decision.
Mm-hmm.
I was when I first made that album, it was off the back of the Greasy Strangler, and so I was expecting some more of like the sort of chipmunk vocals, but I didn't feel like making the Greasy Strangler Part 2 soundtrack.
Right.
So I thought I was going to get some guest vocalists on it as well, but then I wanted to make an album just for myself, and it just naturally kind of pushed me to that direction of kind of doing it myself, which is when I thought, oh god, I've got to sing on it myself. You see, so that's how that came about.
Yes. How do you look at the vocals? How different is it writing just like an instrumental to writing with vocals, or are vocals just like another instrument?
This singing is another instrument, and that's
right.
I'm still learning that instrument, singing. Songwriting feels like an extra process. Actually, it feels quite separate to writing a track or producing a track or mixing it or anything like that. So that's been writing lyrics and songwriting have been quite eye-opening in that way.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you would write just your instrumentals, the other tracks, do you ever have like lyrics in your mind, or is it more just like the emotions? Like, how is it different?
Melodies, I can write melodies quite easily, but when you're trying, because songwriting is to do with melodic elements, structure, and lyrics, and so the structure and it's the lyrics that are quite important. And also the rhythm of the melody is important. And then you have to sort of like juggle. It's like juggling, actually, yeah. You're kind of juggling these different aspects, like the lyrics and the rhythm of the melody and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's really interesting and really fun. But it kind of deserves a lot of respect, that sort of process.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna stick with that, or are you just gonna explore other types of music, or go back to just instrumentals?
I mean, whatever
works.
I guess wherever it takes me, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not really thinking too much about where I'm going to be. Just making sure that it's as least laboured as possible.
Right. So just be like you and like a spoon for the next album.
I'm pretty sure it's just going to be me and a spoon for the next album.
That's what I'm looking forward to. So, how did the recent tour go?
The recent tour is good. It's really good. It's kind of like, it feels very familiar because toured for so long now, but also at the same time, it was so new. Like my role in the band is new, and what I'm doing in the band is completely new as well. So it's kind of it's confusing, but extremely exciting as well. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, along those lines, I don't want to keep going back to lyrics, but it must be different performing now when you are singing. Does it seem like there's more eyes on you? How is it different?
I can like, you know, when you first start learning any instrument, it's kind of like you're kind of like it seems like a lot of it seems like really out of control. Like I can kind of plot my progress from my first gig to the last one. I've only done about 10 gigs with this band, but it's progressed quite a bit from the beginning. And there is a lot of eyes on you, but there's also a lot of it feels like there's a lot of responsibility, because you're kind of like the thing that you're controlling is inside you. It's not something external, and that's kind of like it's kind of scary, but at the same time, as soon as you let go, then it's fine. You know?
Very well. And I assume since you're like the front man now, that means more women for you.
Oh, totally. Oh, so many.
Yeah. Just like podcasting. But how did like fans of yours from your previous work, how did they take to the new stuff?
Well, to be honest with you, it's been kind of a bit. I'm not entirely sure, because it's kind of been like, so it's like kind of, it has been like starting over again, and that might be because it's not reaching people, or it is reaching previous fans and they're not into it. So it's one of those, or a combination of those things. So I think some people are into it, and other people aren't quite sure about it, which was to be expected, really.
Yeah, is that upsetting at all?
Is it upsetting?
Or disappointing, or what is it to you? I don't
know. I'm not sure, really. I mean, just people like the different stuff, don't they? So it's fine, really. No, it's fine. It's just the way it is, really.
Which track's like the most personal to you?
Most personal. I tell you, I've like Open Your Eyes is a bit of a stickler for me at the moment. I feel like that's kind of close to where I'm at the moment, and I don't think it's a coincidence that was at the end of the album. It seems like the light for the next album for me.
Interesting.
So that seems to be resonating at the moment.
Yeah, along those lines, because that's the last track, which is kind of like I said, almost a lead in or whatever to the next one. Like when you're putting together the album, is that important? Like which order they go in?
Oh, really important. Yeah, really important. Yeah, totally. I spend quite a lot of time doing that, kind of figuring out how to place it in the best kind of flowing sort of way. I think it makes or breaks albums when they're in the wrong order. Yeah.
Even if you're putting together a mixtape, it's important. But once your own stuff, it's much more. Yeah. Do you think of that actually when you're writing the tracks? Like, do you write them in like a way where it makes sense in your mind, or were they each like written separately? Like, how does that all work?
Yeah, that does happen. I mean, I think like when you kind of go, oh, I've written quite a lot of bangers. I fancy doing something without any beats now. That happens, but I mean, it's not always kind of present in your mind about the order or how many tracks of what kind of ilk you've got. But sometimes you do feel like, oh, I fancy writing something a bit smaller or bigger or whatever. But the best position to be in is having too many songs for your album and then having to get rid of one for the album. That's the best position to be in.
Yeah. Did that happen on this one?
No.
I had to go write something and throw it in there. Fill it up.
Yes. No, yeah, it didn't.
Well, maybe it just meant that you had the exact a right amount of tracks for this one.
I mean, this one it was hard to do. You know, like I didn't know what I was. It was taking me to places that I wasn't expecting to go, and so like it's kind of yeah. It was hard. It was totally hard. So it was kind of like I had to. Yeah, it's one of the toughest things I've done actually, but I'm so bloody glad I did it. Yeah.
Well, just about writing tracks with lyrics as opposed without. Is there more emotional attachment to them, or just how does that work?
You know what? I think there is, and I think emotional attachment. What do you mean by that? As in, I guess like investment. I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, I think investment's more. It's probably better because I think attachment you'd probably be attached to all your work, but I don't know if you're actually have words in something, if it's more. If you're, I don't know. It seems like it would be a different emotional investment. I guess is the best word.
Yeah, I think you know what's funny is the more emotionally you invest in something, the shitter it is. That's what I found. I found like because when you emotionally invest in something, you're kind of trying too hard. I think. So I found like when I try too hard, that's when it's really shit. I think like you know the Greasy Strangler album took me like 3 weeks to write.
I saw that interview on your Facebook. I was like, wow, it seems so quick.
It was quick, and it's because like you know it was like kind of an exercise in not caring. But which is kind of what the whole film's about. It's kind of like so singular and not caring. Like that's why it kind of I don't know. Like I didn't care, and that happened to be when I made the best music for it. You know, it's like so. Yeah, in terms of emotional investment, I think I did get emotionally invested in it, and I think I feel like next time I'm going to see what happens when I just let anything happen as opposed to trying to control it. But I'm being a bit too hard on myself. It was kind of taking. I just didn't expect to be singing on it, and so it kind of threw me a little bit.
Yeah. What did you do to prepare to sing?
You know what? I didn't do anything because it was like the music had been finished, and like I was expecting it to be. You know, like the music was finished and the songs were finished. I thought, okay, so this album's going to be finished pretty soon, and I've got quite a high opinion of my ability to learn stuff, but so I thought, oh, singing that'll be easy, but it bloody wasn't, you know. So like, it's still a learning process for me. I've gotten quite a bit now from doing it for a couple of years, but at the time I didn't do any preparation. I had no idea what it consisted of. I think when you're learning something, you don't know how hard it's going to be at first.
Yeah. So you said Greasy Strangler took like 3 weeks to write. How long did it take to write this one?
2 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 2 years. But that's including everything, like from writing to mixing. So I did everything. I did writing, production, and then mixing as well for it. So,
is that out of necessity, or is it something you like to do?
I think I like doing it. Yeah, it's good. It was nice to be able to do all the processes. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm planning on doing it for the next album, so I must have enjoyed it.
So, Greasy Strangler, how did you even get involved in it? Like, did Jim Hosking contact you? Did you know him beforehand?
Jim contacted me because he liked the Rave Cave EPs I put out, and he tried a few of them to the picture as well. And they only had like a few weeks, and they were like, "Oh, do you have any old music that we can use?" But I ended up just writing a completely new soundtrack for it. But that's how that came about. Yeah.
Now, did you watch the movie before you wrote the music, or did
I
you?
did.
Oh, okay, so the music is specific for the film.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're watching it, I can't even actually imagine watching a movie without the music. What did you think?
Yeah, I remember watching it with my girlfriend, and then for a good 10 minutes afterwards, we were silent. Like, we just didn't know what to think of it.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't really understand it without the music on it. So I had to go and meet Jim again and ask him what it. I said to him, "Is it dark?" Because I thought it was dark, and he said, "No, no. It's like they're like kids." I was like, "Oh, right." So that's kind of the that's the main sort of theme for me, was like they're basically children, those characters. So that's what I based the sort of music around.
Yeah, like I said, when I introduced you, like, to me that really comes through, and it really makes the movie for me like more palatable. It's just it makes it work, because there's obviously like people are getting killed and there's all this weird sex, but so it could be like just a really vile, nasty movie, but then you have this quirky music and it's just kind of fun.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think it, like, I guess, like, yeah, Jim's vision is kind of like really singular like that, and so it was easy to make the soundtrack for it in that way. But yeah, I totally agree with you.
Did you envision different sounds for each of the characters?
No, what I did was I made loads of music, and Jim kind of assigned the sort of motifs for each of the characters himself. So yeah, I mean they ended up having their own themes for sure.
Had you ever worked with someone like that before on any of the music you've done?
I mean, I've collaborated. Like, the thing I've been doing for the last 10 years is a collaboration, really. So I've got a lot of experience working with people, and yeah, there's a lot of communication that's involved with that. I guess I did, really, in a way.
Yeah, I just saw on your Facebook that you're working with Jim on 2 more projects, so I assume it was a good experience.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, Jim's a great guy.
And so, can you talk about any of those the projects you work on?
Loughlin is his next film, and it's got like Aubrey Plaza and Craig Robinson in, and Jermaine Clement, I think his name is.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And
Flight of the
really
Conchords. Cool. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. So that's going to be. I'm not sure I can say too much about that. That's coming out and Sundance. And then I did this other thing, which is he wrote it with Toby from the Greasy Strangler as well, and it's called Tropical Cops, and that's on Adult Swim. They're both quite different, though. Actually, like, I guess Tropical Cops is more in the vein of the Greasy Strangler, but Loughlin's kind of yes. I'll be really interested to see what people think of it, actually.
No, I'm interested, because after Greasy Strangler, because I really did like it so much, it's just so bizarre and entertaining, not even just weird. I really liked it. So I went and watched Jim's old stuff, and he's got a lot of shorts, online, and even his commercials and stuff. And I just like all the style of everything he does.
Oh yeah, he's an interesting guy, Jim. Really interesting. I think he's doing great things, that guy.
Yeah. So what was it like to see Michael's disco dancing to one of your tunes?
It's great. It's really good. Michael's such a funny guy. Did you speak to him?
Yeah, I talked to, actually. I told him I was going to be interviewing you earlier today, and he told me to put pants on and get a life, which I thought, okay.
Well, that's true, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yes. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd be doing this interview with no pants on. It'd be a totally different experience.
Oh, that's what I'm imagining anyway.
But yeah, he's just hilarious. I had him on the show, and ever since then, he's just kept in touch. He's a genuinely good guy and very, very amusing.
Yeah, he's lovely. He's so sweet, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got a lot of time for Michael.
Now, did you go to like the premieres or any of the screenings of the movie?
Yeah, I went to the first one, Sundance, yeah, I was Michael was there, Sky was there, Elizabeth, yeah, all the cast were there. They'd all driven from LA to Park City,
Mm-hmm.
It was really funny. Like before the screening, there's a lot of bravado. We were like, yeah, it's just really fucking loud.
Uh-huh.
Afterwards, man, it was total. It was like when I watched it with my girlfriend. It was total silence because there was supposed to be an after party in the chalet, but no one was talking to each other.
Well, I'll say I've told everyone I know to watch this movie, and I get one of two reactions. It's one is they just love it like I did, or they just like, what is wrong with you? Why would you want to watch that movie? But there's nobody that's like, it's okay. It's it's either you really love it or you really are not into it.
I think that would be the worst reaction really if it was okay.
Yeah, that's very true actually. Yeah, I think so. I'd rather have someone say, "Oh my god," than be like, it's all right.
Yeah, totally.
You still have... I heard that from somebody else too about that show. They said it was just because I assumed everyone was excited after the movie, but that it was very like somber and people didn't know like what to think. Like I think actually Jim in the interview I did with him said he just thought like, "Oh my god, what did I do? What did I make?"
Yes, I remember. I totally remember. Like when we were in the queue, I remember Jim saying. I remember this so vividly as well because it was really funny. He just said, "Well, this is when I find out if I've made a turkey."
So weird watching the movie because there's so many things that obviously go on too long, but for me it totally works in the movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Do you still have your pink beanie?
I do. Yes, I do. Yeah. Do you have one?
I do. I was very fortunate. A listener of the show, Jason Minton, because I couldn't find one, and he came through and got me a pink beanie.
Oh, that's good.
I was very excited about that.
Iconic, aren't they now?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, what inspired you to be a musician in the first place?
I didn't choose it. That's for sure.
Okay. Someone made you. They're just like, you are now a musician.
The opportunity came along to do it, and I took it. Like I always knew I wanted to be an artist, and then the band got signed, and I thought, all right, okay, let's commit to this fully, and so that's what happened. And that was around when I was like 26 or something, because I was gonna be a filmmaker or a video maker or something. But the band took off, so yeah, that's how that happened.
Do you feel that the music fulfills like that creative part of you then?
I think so, because it's just a medium, isn't it? I think it's like, I reckon, if you've got any kind of materials in front of you, you can make anything you want that you'll be happy with. That's all you have to do. And that's what music was for me. So, yeah.
So, what was the opportunity that it seems kind of odd, just like an opportunity to become a musician? Like, what was it?
So the band got signed, and we were like, okay, well, give us as many gigs as you can. And that year we did like 150 shows, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. Like the second album came out, and then we did another bout of touring. And then third album came out. And that was 10 years.
Yeah,
dedicated to that thing. So, yeah.
Would you still ever want to, make a movie or something like that?
I'm kind of like toying with the idea of going back to drawing, which is what I did when I was younger, and painting and stuff. And I think it's... Am I going to do that? I don't know. There's still loads of stuff that I'm learning at the moment with music, so... And it's kind of still a really exciting arena for me. But I imagine I will do more, do other stuff when I get older.
Yeah. So maybe a weird question, but what are the similarities between creating music and creating like artwork? Are there similarities?
Yeah, I think so. I think like all the skills that I learned from those other disciplines are totally transferable. Like I work, for instance, with music, I work in layers, and which is what I did with painting. You kind of like you draw it out first, and then you start painting it and putting in color into it, and then there's loads of kind of processes on top of each other to sort of make it richer. Which is what I do with music.
It's really interesting you said that, because I was going to mention layers, because my webmaster for the website, Tyler, who I've known for like 15 years, and he taught me first how to do Photoshop, and then so I was pretty good at that. And then when it came to audio editing, like I don't do music, but just if I'm doing a video or whatever, I was having a problem with it, and he told me to think of it the same way as like a Photoshop thing with layers, and then it made it much easier, and it made me understand it better.
Oh, okay. So what, like, so you kind of like go over it in different stages, I guess, or?
Yeah, because like if you're doing like a Photoshop banner, because I do all the banners for the website, and it's all different layers, and maybe you have like a grunge layer over everything to kind of give it like a certain look, whatever. And with the audio, he's kind of the same way. It's like you've got like your bass, whatever the track is, and then if you want to add this or that, and it was it kind of made it more visual, which sounds odd for audio, but it made me understand it better.
No, that totally makes sense to me, for sure. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah. I don't know. Some people might think it's bad, some of the things I put out, but.
Well, you make your own rules, don't you? That's the point.
Right. So what kind of movies did you like when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, I was really into John Hughes films.
Okay.
What did I like?
Like The Breakfast Club? Is that John Hughes?
Breakfast Club is one of my favorite films.
I agree. That's a movie that's whenever it's on, like you could just watch it no matter what part it's at.
I know. I still really like. I've still got a real soft spot for that film.
I agree 100%.
I liked Tim Burton films.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching Heathers the other day, just getting back into that. Yeah, films like that, really. Coming of age films.
Yeah, there's always something about that too. I mean, I love the Wonder Years when I was growing up.
Yes.
So I was the same age as the main character. I'm blanking on when it was first on, so it was it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's always the theme I like in every. I mean, I think that's cool about it. The Stephen King movie.
Oh yes, yeah, yes.
So about the new album, where can people get it? I probably should have brought that up earlier.
What, Realisationship?
Yes.
Lex Records would be the first one. I think it's on Spotify and Bandcamp. And you can get it in record shops. It's on vinyl and CD and stuff. So, yeah.
Well, how would you say most people get the music today? Or your music specifically? Do they get digital or do they actually get the physical copies?
I imagine most people, the majority of people listen to it over streaming sites. And I think some people, I mean, vinyl is becoming more popular. I heard vinyl was more popular than it was, no, this can't be true. In the 80s? No, surely not. It's really popular though, vinyl.
Yeah, that could be because the 80s was really about like cassette tapes.
Yes. But
so
I see a lot of record shops popping up now and stuff, so it's kind of encouraging.
Yeah, I know they put out the Greasy Strangler on vinyl. It's like a pink like goo or something, and yeah.
Yes, that's right. Got a white splatter.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah. Do you listen to music on vinyl?
I don't, but I'm kind of moving houses at the moment, so I kind of want to. I do want to set up a music room, to be able to listen to vinyl and stuff because I've got loads of it. Haven't got the setup for it at the moment, but yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. Exactly. Well, and how can people follow you online?
I am on everything.
Right. So just write in Andrew Hung.
Yes. Yeah, I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, pretty easy, really.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hate to say this. I might edit this out if the question goes badly. But does anyone ever get your name confused with William Hung?
I don't think they do on purpose.
Oh yeah, great.
I think people use it as a yeah. I've heard that joke a few times, but I don't really know who that guy is. If I'm honest with you, he's like American, right?
Yeah, he's just a real kind of goofball that was on American. Oh, it's a talent show where you went on, you were on it, and then you'd become like a singer. American Idol.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've looked him up a few times, and we've got very similar styles, definitely.
Right. For people out there who are not familiar with Andrew, and if you're a big fan of William Hung, then it'll fit right in.
I'm pretty sure it will, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we had the music. You were Music of the Month a couple months ago on the show, and I was very happy about that.
Oh, thank you so much for doing that, by the way. Oh,
definitely. Yeah, I really. It was. This is honest. When I first heard your new album, Realisationship, at first it was weird because it was different than what I had heard from you previously, but not in a bad way or anything. And then I listened to it, a few times after that, and the more I listened to it, the more I liked it.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great to hear.
Yeah. And it's not just because you're here, but
no, thank you very much.
But no, it's totally true. It's I think it's cool to see other sides of people too, as opposed to just doing the same thing over.
I think so. It makes life more interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm looking forward to your future music and your work with Hosking, Jim Hosking. It's very exciting.
Oh, cheers, Neil. Yes.
You're welcome. Anything else you'd like to say? That people know where they what they can expect from you in the future? The Spoon album.
Yeah, check out. Yeah, watch out for a new album.
That'll be a Without Your Head exclusive.
Yes.
Andrew and the Spoon. All right. Well, it's been a lot of fun talking to you. I hope you did. I hope you didn't regret it. You don't regret doing this.
Oh, I always regret it. Thank you. Totally regret it.
Excellent.
This is Sky Elabar, Big Braden from the Greasy Strangler, and you're listening to Without Your Head.